I love the industry. I feel like the industry's given me so much, and that's what brought me to IDDBA and to be involved in it. It is just a passion of love, right? You affect people in a lot of different ways when you're baking, and you can do that from behind the bench, behind closed doors. But you're a part of a first birthday, you're a part of a wedding, you're a part of all these life-changing moments. They don't know your face, but they remember the product that you put in front of them.
Welcome to Fresh Take with IDDBA, your source for essential insights, trends, and professional growth in the dairy, deli, and bakery industries. I'm Kat Shanahan, Vice President of Marketing and Membership at IDDBA. If you arrived here looking for the What's in Store podcast, rest assured you are in the right place. We are expanding our show into Fresh Take with IDDBA, bringing you 4 reoccurring series. You'll find your favorites like What's in Store and Executive Aisle, and we're adding Inside IDDBA for everything you need to know about our annual show, plus professional development tips in our Test Kitchen series. We're kicking off the new year with What's in Store. Today, we're digging into the trends and insights impacting all things dairy, deli, and bakery. I'm thrilled to welcome IDDBA Vice President of Education and Industry Relations Heather Prach and VP of Sales and Marketing at Ditsch, John Stefanik. Welcome, Heather and John.
Hello, everyone. I'm very excited to be here with John Stefanik. John, you're one of my favorite people. When we go to our events, I'm always like, man, I'm really excited to see John. So I'm super excited that you're with us today. And I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Can you give us your position and the company that you're with today?
Hi, I'm John Stefanik with Ditsch USA, Vice President of Sales and Marketing. I started baking when I was 14 years old, and I tell everybody I'm a baker by trade and a salesman by accident. I found out that I was a little more prosperous on the sales side than on the bench, maybe, but just found a true passion for baking. And so I started out as a training tech and grew into a sales role, and then worked my way through with Country Home Bakers and J&J Snack Foods, where I spent a total of about 26 years and decided to make a change not too long ago. And here I am at Ditsch USA.
Yeah, and why I like you most, John, is, and you're so positive and excited. You can't even fake this passion that you have. And something you said the last time that we were together, you said that you're so positive, and I asked you, John, you're always so positive. What's going on? And you were like, it's because I love what I do. You really love the space that you found yourself in.
I do. I do. I mean, it's just it is energizing every day to go in to work and to really help people and grow people. I mean, the list can go on and on, but I love the industry. I feel like the industry's given me so much, and that's what brought me to IDDBA and to be involved in it. Was just how it brings this industry together and allows people to grow, and the collaboration that happens throughout the organization and what the organization brings to the different companies. So it is just a passion of love, right? You affect people in a lot of different ways when you're baking, and you can do that from behind the bench, behind closed doors. But you're a part of a first birthday, you're a part of a wedding, you're a part of all these life-changing moments for people. They don't know your face, but they remember the product that you put in front of them.
Yeah, nice. Let's talk some pretzels a bit. So, in your opinion, what separates a good pretzel from a great one?
Well, it comes to the craft, right? I mean, it's there are pretzel breads out there. There are bundos covered in a caustic bath. But when you put the true craft behind it and an authentic dough combined with that caustic bath and the processes behind that, it creates a memorable pretzel.
Nice. So let's relate you to pretzels. So tell me, what's your leadership style in regards to a pretzel? Are you a twist, a rod, a nugget, or what are you?
Yeah, I think every baker at heart has a pretzel in them because we're all a little bit twisted up. Uh, but it's fun. I would definitely say that I'm more on the wild and custom side. I love pushing the boundaries and seeing what can be done. a lot is possible when you really reach for the stars with it. And that's the beauty of baking, right? You can take that little bit of science and biology and twist it into some art, some original art.
Yeah, you just took the word right out of my mouth. I was going to say baking's an art. I'm no good at baking, so I definitely understand the art of it. And you mentioned this, baking's a lot about a craft. So what's one behind the scenes bakery process that you think that consumers would find fascinating?
Nobody really thinks about the unsung hero of the fermentation process, right? And that is where you get the blend of biology and chemistry and artistry all coming together. When you bring that yeast to life, and you balance that out with some of the ingredients and things like that, and artfully form it. It's just that whole process behind it. Everybody sees a loaf of bread, everybody sees a pretzel on the shelf, but they don't understand the how much time, temperature, and that artistry are involved in getting it to that point.
What's a project or an idea that you can't wait to dive into?
What's really energizing, I can't wait to dive in. It will take us to that edgy, right? We have a brand new facility that's just a mile and a half down the road from the original facility. It's got a couple new lines in it, but a blank canvas as well. So there's a ton of growth opportunity, and really it gives us that chance to develop what a pretzel can be, and what can be a pretzel. When you look at that, so we're in the midst of building out a brand new R&D lab that I've gotten to be a part of from the start. So there's going to be a lot of exciting things coming in 2026, especially the plans to showcase at IDDBA in Orlando. So I'm gonna save the edgy for there, and how far we're gonna reach with a pretzel at this point.
No, and I think you're with a very innovative, and I'm using edgy, but innovative and edgy company. I think you've shown some great pictures of like the concepts that you guys have in Germany and stuff. I think your company allows you to have some creative freedom.
Absolutely. There's a ton of creative freedom, and it's not just for me, it's for everybody in the organization. Is very highly encouraged to be entrepreneurial and own it like it's yours, and try to push it to where we believe it can be. And we believe that we've just scratched the surface of pretzels in the United States. I mean, they've been around forever. Ditch itself has been around since 1919. So we're over 100 years of pretzel artistry throughout Europe. And that knowledge and craft is here in the US now. So we've just scratched the surface. And all the data, whether it's Data Essentials or wherever you're pulling it from, is saying that pretzels are going to continue to grow for at least the next 4 years. Let's hope for the next 40 years.
Yeah, nice. You're about to make a life move too, right? You're going to move to Cincinnati.
For the first time in my career, I actually love going to the office. It's just I have an incredible team surrounding me, and the support there. So, and every day is a different day because it is that entrepreneurial grind, right? And we get to build this out the way that we envision it and be a part of that.
So the best part of working in food is,
It goes back to being life changing for people everywhere, right? Like it's an impact on humanity at the end of the day. When we're feeding people, whether it's out of necessity or whether it's out of celebration, whether it's just having a moment, right? And what I don't care where you're at, the movies, the ballpark, the weddings, the funerals, it's everywhere food is involved. So it's just exciting to be a part of an industry that can touch so many people.
yeah. And when you talk about people, like, people celebrate, people grieve, people use food in all different ways. And I'm seeing that when I was writing the trends this year, a little more than data. We've grown so much in data since COVID. People are so data driven. We're starting to see more emotions come out in the food this year more than ever. And I don't know if that's people talking more about mental health or what that is, but we're starting to see more of those emotions. So I think, to your point, I think it's going to grow because we're leaning on food for more emotional support than we ever have. So tell me, if you had to create a brand new bakery item, so you can create anything by mashing two existing foods.
For me, it's combining our pretzel bites with endless things. You know, we just opened a brand new store in Germany that is completely based on pretzel bites that we ship from the US, and it's called Good Bite, and they do exactly that. They take pretzel bites, they top them with diced up hot dogs and some cheese. They may put some nachos. It's kind of like a Sunday topping bar, but for pretzels. So it's really cool. It gets every mashup you can think of. It's also giving us a lot of data on what consumers want to mash up together with a pretzel.
Oh, I love this. Like tachos or nachos with pretzel
Yeah,
bites. That's amazing.
absolutely. So, check them out on TikTok, and it's pretty wild. It's goodbite.de.
Nice. I am going to check this out. So tell us, what's the most unusual or hilarious feedback you've ever heard about a food product?
It's not just one. There's so many, and we're in the baking industry, so some of those things you can't exactly discuss publicly, right?
Sure.
But it's the feedback. It still comes back to your point on emotions and perception that drives that feedback. We could set the same product down on a table, the same pretzel in front of 10 people, and every single person's going to have a different feedback on what a pretzel means to them, or whether it's flavor, it's functionality, it's the occasion. It's so I don't know if I've had any hilarious. I mean, and on the unusual side, it really is. It's so personal with people. Like, there's not one to pick from. Um,
No, I always find it fascinating when you go outside of the food industry, so outside of people that we typically network with, and people start to do either pairings or tastings, and how people describe those tastes. Like, what does this taste like? One that comes to mind, somebody's like paper towels, and it's like, whoa, have you eaten paper towels? And why would it taste like paper towels? Um, so I always find it fun when people are describing taste, because we're in a world where we're describing taste all the time, but people outside of this world don't always have to articulate what they're tasting. So I find that
yeah,
very fun.
absolutely. I mean, if I can take it back to you were talking emotions and things, and I think that some of that also goes back to the data side, and people are eating for functionality more now than we probably have in the past 10, 15 years. We ate because we love that taste, or we ate because we were bored or depressed or whatever it might have been. It was that feel good. But I feel like since COVID, it's been constantly escalating. And these last couple years, it's been a lot more about functionality. So when you look at the protein was king for the last couple years, you had the GLP-1 and all that stuff, and now fiber's coming into the place. And so not really a mashup, but how do you bring those things together to deliver total functionality in feel good food?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And yeah, you're right. With the fiber, next is gut health is going to be just as hot as our protein as this moves out. So what's one part of the food industry? Let's talk about the public, so people outside of our industry. What's one part of the food industry you think the public totally misunderstands?
I don't think people understand supply chain, the whole
Yeah,
how does your food get here and from where, right? Like, and that spans all consumer goods. We in the industry can talk about the last mile and all those different things, but the general consumer, I don't think they really understand it. They just know they hit the button on Instacart or they hit the button on Amazon, and it shows up 2 hours later. So I think that that's an industry that's not widely understood by the general public.
yeah, yeah. I would definitely concur with that, and I would say weather. right? People don't understand how much weather affects food. So I came from Whole Foods, so you've got natural turkeys, and there was a year where turkeys, in a drought, turkeys don't eat as much. Now you have small turkeys, and you're calling people over Thanksgiving that want the beautiful 20-pound bird, but you're going to get two 10-pound birds, which isn't as exciting, but that's the nature of what happens, right? Or there's a drought, you don't have tomatoes, then you don't have tomato sauce, or it continues to evolve over the course of the year when these commodities have issues with weather.
Absolutely, and it's completely unpredictable, right? I mean, hey, we all want to be a weatherman because you can be wrong 90% of the time and you still have a job. Uh, but I mean, to your point, the unpredictability, and when you look at our industry, what the wheat crops are going to be, and what's the protein in the flour going to look like, because then the bakers have to make adjustments, and you go back to that science side of it. So yeah, that's another good one.
We just talked about weather, supply chain. Is there anything else that you feel like is a hindrance that we can debunk right here, right now? Is there something that people don't know? I think there's also, I would go through a lot of the government, right? The government, food, I say all the time, food's very political.
Yeah, navigating the tariffs, navigating the back to that supply chain, right? I mean, the war in Ukraine really pushed
Oh, yeah.
a lot of attention to that supply chain because of what comes out of that region, whether it was sunflower oil or whether, there were different wheat shortages and things. We continue to battle cocoa prices in bakery, not necessarily in my pretzels, but the whole geopolitical landscape totally affects the prices of what the consumer's got to pay,
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
or if we can even make it or not.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And then the battle, it's tough, right? You've got to get your hands
Yep.
on the item. So you're in a constant fight, right? You need the wheat, you need the commodities, but sometimes you've got to outpace the people around you.
Yep.
So, John, I'm gonna wrap this up with ending in the same way that I started, and I hope all the listeners can catch that from you. Is that you can't fake the passion that you have, not only for the industry, but currently in your current position. Whenever I've seen you, you are exuding what you do for a living, and it's really quite beautiful. I don't have another term for it, John, so I'm gonna call you beautiful. Is that good?
Well, thank you, but I mean, life's a lot easier when you get up to go play every day.
Yeah, that's true. So thank you, John. It's been a pleasure to have you on this podcast today, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
A big thank you to Heather and John for sharing their insights with us today. Remember, Fresh Take with IDDBA drops 2 episodes a month on the 1st and 3rd Tuesdays. Our next episode will feature our new Test Kitchen series, where I sit down with IDDBA Education Coordinator Ellen Coatney and Meat and Seafood Category Manager for Lunds and Byerly's Steve Asp to talk about professional development. To ensure you don't miss that, hit the subscribe button on your favorite podcast platform. Thank you for tuning in to Fresh Take with IDDBA.